Have you ever felt like giving up when nothing seems to go your way? Imagine being rejected 1,009 times before hearing a single yes. Sounds impossible, right? But that's the real story of a man who refused to quit, even when life broke him over and over again. This is the story of Colonel Harland Sanders, the man who turned rejection into revolution and built a global empire, Kentucky Fried Chicken, after the age of 65. Welcome to Next Peak, where stories of resilience remind you it's never too late to rise. Harland Sanders was born in 1890 in a small farmhouse in Indiana, USA. When he was just 6 years old, his father died. His mother worked day and night, leaving young Harland to cook and care for his younger siblings. By the time most kids were playing outside, Harland was learning how to make bread, vegetables, and chicken, the same chicken that would one day change his life. But life wasn't kind. He dropped out of school in 7th grade. He worked as a farmhand, streetcar conductor, insurance salesman, and even a railroad fireman, but got fired from most jobs. At 40, he was running a small gas station in Kentucky, struggling just to pay rent. Still, he had one thing no one could take away: his determination. When travelers stopped for fuel, he cooked meals for them in a small room behind the station. And soon, people weren't coming for gas anymore. They were coming for his fried chicken. His little restaurant grew famous in Kentucky. He perfected a secret recipe of 11 herbs and spices, cooked in a pressure cooker to keep it crispy and juicy. Business was finally booming, until tragedy struck. In 1955, a new highway was built that diverted all traffic away from his restaurant. Customers vanished. His income dropped to zero. At 65 years old, he sold his property and was left with only a $105 Social Security check. Most people would have called it the end, but not Sanders. Instead of giving up, he looked at his life and said, "I still have my recipe, and I still believe in it." So he packed his pressure cooker, his spice mix, and began traveling door to door, offering his chicken recipe to restaurant owners. In return, he wanted just 5 cents for every chicken sold. Sounds simple, but rejection hit hard. 1,009 times, restaurant owners said no. They laughed at his idea. They called him too old. But on the 1,010th try, one owner finally said yes. And that's when everything changed. That single yes was the start of something legendary. Word spread quickly. By the early 1960s, KFC franchises were opening across America. Colonel Sanders, in his trademark white suit, goatee, and black bow tie, became a symbol of Southern hospitality. At 74, when most people were retired, he was working harder than ever. In 1964, he sold KFC for $2 million, but remained the company's global ambassador for the rest of his life. What's more inspiring isn't the money, it's the man. He turned every rejection into a redirection. Every no brought him closer to the one yes that changed everything. He proved that age, failure, and rejection are never final. Unless you quit. Colonel Sanders' story isn't just about fried chicken. It's about belief. It's about getting up one more time than you fall. He once said, "I made a resolve then that I was going to amount to something if I could. No hours, nor amount of labor, nor amount of money would deter me from giving the best that there was in me." Remember this: it doesn't matter how many times life shuts the door on you. What matters is that you keep knocking, because your next yes could be the one that changes everything. If this story moved you, share it with someone who's about to give up. And subscribe to Next Peak, where every story reminds you, your time will come. Just don't stop climbing.